In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows, look, we are all the time, most of the time, we are seen interacting with the people, meeting the people, seeing them, observing them, having certain issues and matters with these people. That is what we people are seen doing, on a daily basis, maybe on an hourly or a daily basis. That is something which is unavoidable for us. We do have to go for it. And now some of the people, we are satisfied by the behavior, by the interaction, by the action and reaction of some of the people, while most of the people, we are not happy with the way they are treating us, with the way they are dealing with us. We are not so happy, we are not so satisfied, and because of that, certain negative emotions keep creating and emerging out of us, like the emotion of the anger or the hatred or the jealousy or certain other negative emotions maybe. And these negative emotions, either without a solid reason or even with a solid reason, if at all we are experiencing these negative emotions, then these emotions are actually burning us. These are actually destroying us and killing us without any sort of exaggeration. If at all we do feel anger, if at all we do feel hatred, if at all we do feel jealousy, or if at all we do feel any other sort of negative emotion, these are really, really bad for us and having the potential and the ability to destroy us completely or partially. My dear friend, completely. I said that when somebody fights a fatal death with someone else because of anger, because of hatred, because of any other thing, I think that these people are not, worthy of treatment like that one. You will disagree with me momentarily, but let me explain that if at all someone else from our home, my son, my daughter, your son or your daughter, if at all they are not, if at all they are not treating us the way we want to be treated, what we do then? Do we feel anger? Obviously, sometimes we do. Do we feel hatred? Maybe in the rare cases, a person can hate their offspring, but usually neither the anger nor the hatred. Rather, we do try to think what is the reason why this son of mine, daughter of mine, is unable to behave well to other people, to someone else. What is the reason? What is wrong here? What if at all I could not do the proper training, they could not get the proper schooling, whatever the reason, maybe they were mistreated earlier by the other side, and for that reason my son or daughter could not treat and behave them well in a proper manner. We try to dig out the psychological reason, the reason behind it, instead of starting to burst with the anger, with the hatred, with the jealousy, with any other emotion. We become like a doctor who is trying to diagnose the malady, the disease, and the person who is either my son or daughter are then trying to treat them. We take them sometimes to the doctors, sometimes to the faith healers, to the spiritual healers, and sometimes we do take them either to a psychiatrist or someone like that. We try to arrange the kind of counseling for our son or daughter. Here, neither we became so angry nor we started hating our son or daughter. Rather, we try to diagnose the reason, why they are unable to treat others properly, why, what is the reason, either the psychological or the physical one. If at all they are experiencing any sort of mental stress, any type of psychological disease or the trouble which actually needs to be handled and tackled professionally by the expert, by the psychologist, by the physician, etc. That is what we try to do. Now, I shall like to say, can't we adopt an attitude like that one with the other guy, with the other person? I think we need to do that. What will happen as a result of that? On the one hand, I think we will be able to keep ourselves away from the hatred, away from the anger, away from the jealousy, away from any other negative emotion. And that is the first thing which is going to happen with us as soon as we adopt an attitude like that. And we will stop burning, we will stop burning ourselves, we will stop destroying ourselves, and we will start protecting ourselves. Rather, we shall start learning a new type of learning will start with us, because we are observing a person, either our son or daughter or any other person. We have started observing them. What is wrong with them? Why are they doing like this one? Maybe in certain situations it is only their low standards, it is only any other type of mistake, or maybe they are experiencing, they are undergoing any sort of psychological trouble, or maybe it is a kind of social norm. It has become a kind of social norm to treat someone like this in a situation like this one. This might be the case, but whatever the case is, we need to identify it, we need to learn it, we need to observe it, and we need to become like a person who is a medical practitioner. And now our responsibility is to observe them, to understand them, and to try to dig out and diagnose the real reason behind it. And not only trying to know the real reason behind it, rather we try to treat them as much as we can. And if at all they might be in need of the counseling, we can tell them, advise them, we can suggest them that, dear brother or sister, maybe you are in need of some sort of counseling. And the counseling, it's not any sort of abuse at all, it is not a sort of stigma at all. Anybody could be in the need of a counseling. I think it doesn't mean at all that somebody is a psychologically troubled or an in person and does need a kind of treatment from a psychiatrist and needs to be admitted in the psychiatry hospital. I don't think any of this. In a very humble, in a very polite, and in quite an intelligent way, we need to tell the other people. And if at all they are receptive to listen, otherwise at least we can keep this thing inside our own mind, and we can in the future, either in the near or distant future, we shall be cheating all that while keeping this data about them in our mind. And that is something what we need to do. If at all somebody does not treat us, behave us in a proper manner, it is not something which is so complicated, which is so intricate. I think it is only a change of the attitude is needed, because changing the attitude, it is really extremely important, extremely necessary as well. Because if at all we don't try to change the other person, and above all we need to change our own perspective, we need to think differently, we need to treat them differently, and also we need to understand how can I get my work done. If at all a person is suffering from a disease like this one, from a trouble like this one, how can somehow I interact with this person in a successful manner, so that the whatever I wanted to get done should be done on the one hand, with the little or with the minimum amount of the cost which I do have to pay. I think this approach, our approach, needs to be changed at all. We shouldn't be considering somebody who deserve the hate, who deserve the anger, who should be fought with, and who should be felt jealous of. I think all of that is wrong. All of that is nonsense, and it will make us quite a stupid person. We don't need to become one.